In this episode, we look at how the new parking snapping tool makes building parking lots, off-street parking lots, a breeze, and we connect a tram line to our university over there. Stay tuned! Hi guys, I'm ExactChaos and welcome back to another episode of City Skylines. This is the lovely town of Prospect Valley and it's growing quite a lot. We're up to 12,500 people living here, and I think today we're going to expand on that a fair bit more. In the last episode, we started putting in a lot of extra high density over here, and we added this parking, and I suggested that we need to have a look at a new mod called Parking Lot Snapping Tool. Let's just go into the options for a second so I just make sure that I've got that name right. Parking Lot Snapping, exactly. So if we go into Parking Lot Snapping, we can see it says pass electricity applies individual to newly built parking assets, I think is what that is. Allow snapping, allow locking, override overlapping parking spaces assets, undo disengages lock, and play in-game bulldoze effect when undoing, snapping distance, unlocking distance. There's a lot of things that we can do. We can have some keyboard shortcuts that would allow us to lock and unlock the current snapping position, and then undo the last placement, lock onto existing parking asset. Anyway, so there's a fair bit that we can do. But in reality, all that really does is now you can see I've actually allocated a little parking zone over here. We've done that in the last episode. And now what we need to do is we need to provide it with some parking. And remember how tedious it was? Now it's not tedious at all. Now, what I'm interested in is can we... Oh, that's actually rotating. Anyway, I don't really mind getting the locking and stuff like that going on. So all I'll do is now we'll just try and get it to about the right spot. And it goes over there. Let's use something a little smaller. There we go. And then a little smaller still. And I think that's going to be an appropriate number of spaces. So now, immediately you can see we've got a very easy to use tool to get our parking lots going. We've only got one little overlapping one. There we go. We can immediately see some parking coming in. So what are we going to do today is we're going to expand on our network a little bit more over here. Try and use a fairly grid-like pattern. We can see a fair bit of traffic being generated over in this location, and something we may at some point have a look at. But let's get things going a little bit. So what are we wanting to do? We want to... Excuse me, I've got a bit of a cough going on. Still not quite 100%. But what we wanted to do is we want to maybe expand on some of these things. And what I'll do is I'll disable zoning for the time being, which is something that I wanted to do in the last one as well. And then we'll recommence zoning as we see fit. So that's kind of the idea. So these presents us with all of our current access options from the one side to the other side. What I was wondering about is adding an extra road, potentially, yeah, from somewhere over here. And we'll just run that one straight through to the other side, and then we'll see about getting some additional road connections in this general area. Yeah, I think that's going to be pretty good. So let's try and provide a fair bit of distance in between them. So what you want to do in the reality is not put in too many access points. And maybe what we should do is look at something that's slightly wider, but not... I don't want it to be super wide. So something like this is really about more appropriate. So let's get that one. We'll take it about at the center point here. And what I'm interested in is running it straight through there. And we can continue to run it straight down this general pathway. I want to, yeah. Let's do something like that. Okay, so now this is a slightly wider road, so it will be able to carry a little bit more capacity. That's added an intersection over there. We'll then go back to slightly narrower roads, just the standard one, and we'll see about running this up here. So that works quite well, and at some point we can curve that into about the center. So actually, let's take it from the center. We'll give it a little bit of a straight section there, And then it's about time to use our multi-tool. So I'll use the multi-tool over here, in which it's a little off-center from our zoning adjuster. Can we move these over a little bit? Yeah, let's do that. Let's move these over a tad this way. So we get our UI sorted out. So now we've got this guy going in. And what we're interested in is we're saying create connection mode. So what we'll do is we'll create a connection from there to there. We would like it from the other side, please. We would like it to the other side. And there you can see it's pretty natural. What I'm after is drag to change the radius. Yeah, that's the one. Let's make that fairly natural till this one goes to 0. There we go. That's perfect. And we'll enter that to complete it. There we go. That is looking pretty good. I do like that multi-tool. It is helping us a fair bit. Now, what I am wondering is whether we should, in fact, give ourselves an additional connection somewhere over here. And then I think this will be our last mainstream kind of connection, which will give us that connection point over there that we wouldn't necessarily always want it to run through. Let's leave it for the time being. Maybe we don't actually need it. Now, let's focus our attention on this side, where we're going to need to maybe start bringing in some form of connection. And maybe we'll go and do the 90-degree angle. I think that works quite well. If we do the 90-degree angle there, it kind of builds out from the city itself. So let's again use this tool. And we'll grab a 90-degree angle at a fair distance. Now, what we just need to make sure is if we do that 90-degree angle, do we get too close to this side? Okay, that's fine. I think that's okay. We'll run it up to there. Over here, we'll start taking another 90 degrees and we'll run it in there. That's pretty good. And then maybe another 90 degrees and we'll go over there. So we're slowly kind of staging this thing out a little bit more. I like that. So that's a good one. Now, we don't want it to be too rigid as it goes. So let's start looking at some slightly changed curvatures. Now, I'm comfortable. Well, what we need to do is we honestly need to run this little road almost parallel. Well, actually, let's move it away from the rail a little bit. Okay. And then we'll run it parallel to the rail over there. So we'll get it up to there. And now I think it's about a straight line tool. And we'll just see about running that probably up to about here. That's about sensible. So that is kind of our railway parade type road setup. I can see a fair bit of traffic over here, guys. Due to trains transitioning through here instead of actually using the bypass. That's quite interesting. So we will fix some of those things as we go, and as we experience them, we will fix them. Now, what I'm quite interested in doing is running this one. Actually, let's start it off by running that one. Up to about here. No, probably something like thereabouts. And then we will go ahead and tie it in like so. There it is. That's pretty good. Now we'll just have to see how we tie in the rest of this. This one, I think I'm going to come in over this way. Go back to the smaller road. We'll go with a little bit of straight section. Yeah, we want to make sure that we maintain a fair bit of straight roads. And this one will probably tie in about here somewhere. If we do up to about there, and now we'll look at getting that connection tied in. That's pretty good, actually. And this one, I think we'll run over this way. Okay, so let's straighten that one up. Up to about there, and then we can quickly tie that in. We don't need to use the multi-tool for everyone. It's just the more complex curves that I like to use it. But there we go. So that looks pretty good. This is a little awkwardly straight, but I think that's fine. So this is kind of a pretty nice little layout. We'll probably do a few little internal roads because this is going to be a little bit of wasted space. I am... academic year report. I am kind of wondering whether we this wouldn't be too bad if only we curve the central one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this one, and we're going to curve it. So what I'm going to do, not that, get rid of the that tool, and we're going to do it 5 only. Yeah, we should probably just do a little stretch of that. And we'll do a little stretch of this. And now what I'm interested in doing is now I'm going to use the multi-tool because it could be a pretty complex curve. We'll say from there to there, please. And we'd like to use the other sides. And this one, if we widen that up a fair bit, can we get that one to almost no curve? No, too much. Just doesn't quite want to get us to that. So is that what we're after? I kind of like that. So we have a very smooth little curve down there. And now that looks really nice, actually. Oh, I loving that tool. That tool is doing a great job at getting us to do a few better things. Now, these are going to be our main kind of collectors through the CBD area. Now, what we'll do is we'll provide a few other options here. And I'm tempted to actually use some of these pedestrianized little boulevards, at least like somewhere over here, maybe. So if we do this, right, and I'm kind of tempted to run it in, well, I don't think we'll be able to really run it in parallel. What are we after? We're after about that location there. How does this look? Oh, it's a one-way. I did not realize that it is in fact a one-way. But I do like it, and we can zone on that. So let's do that. Let's get ourselves a bit of a pedestrianized little section through here. Is that appropriate though? I think so. I think in this area, because we don't want. Let's just see. Can we? It wants to snap the whole time. So let's just turn off snapping just for a second, and we'll do something like that. That's what I'm after. We'll do that, and then I want to tie it in over here. That's good. That's awesome. That's awesome. And what we'll do is we'll just run this area, little section straight through there. There we go. Now, what we'll need to do is we'll need to turn that around. I think that's the more appropriate one-way direction. Now, with that in mind, let's turn snapping back on, and we'll go with the zoning adjuster. So if we wanted to zone on these roads, I love it. I love it. We'll zone on this one and not on the other one. That is really looking pretty good. I like that. I like that a lot. And I think we'll zone on this one too, but probably not up to the intersection. So something like that. So that's a pretty good little zone style over there. So that's kind of the idea that we're after. Now, what I wanted to do is make sure that we actually do a bit of an internal tram line. I'm kind of tempted to run the tram on this loop with a connection over here to the university. We may in the future also connect it to the industrial zone. So let's get ourselves a tram style road. Okay. Now, if it's a loop, right, we don't need it to run in both directions. 2-lane, one-way road with CF, with contraflow. Oh, look at that. Contraflow tram line without parking space. Excuse me. Now, that is pretty good. This one is 2-lane, one-way road with contraflow tram lane and parking spaces. And this is a 2-lane, one-way road with tram track without parking spaces. I think one of these, I think this is the one for us, really. What is this? 2-lane road with tram track supports low traffic. So I don't want necessarily to do that. This is 2-lane, two-way road with tram track without parking spaces. So this is effectively if we're running in the same general direction. But I do kind of like the idea of this contraflow one. So let's see if we go and we upgrade these sections. So that gives us a one-way road that way and a contraflow tram track, which I like. I like the idea of it. That is pretty cool. So if we go, where are we going to make our turn? Is it this one? Yeah, I think we're going to run it in this middle one, right? There we go. Now this one will have to turn in the other direction. There we go. Yeah. That's the one for us. How do we make sure that we continue it on the right side of things? Why does it want to keep it doing? There we go. There we go. I think now it's connecting it. It's connecting the dots now. Not quite. I like the idea of this one-way section. So this will be busy, guys. This will be, I think, ultimately it will be really busy. But I like the idea of no on-street parking next to our tram line. So we can do a little bit of off-street parking, really. I don't know why they continuously go onto the wrong... Now, that's a bit of a mess. Now, this one... Yes, that's the one. I like it. It's looking good. It's looking good. Get through there, and get through there. Now, that's our tram line. Now, from here, we probably need to do tram and buses on this one. So let's quickly have a look at what our 4-lane options for trams are. Actually, let's see. We probably have something in here. Not that one. So, inner tram or tram on the boulevard. Now, options with tram on the boulevard is only on the inside. We can't actually double up bus and tram, can we? So this is the one that's all about, but we can't actually double up on that. I'm not interested in building my own, just FYI. So what we could do is we can transition to an inside tram track. Not one of those, but this one potentially. So there's a 4-lane with tram tracks. Supports medium traffic. This is a 6-lane plus tram track. So the idea that we'll transition, I'm not happy with the fact that we're going to, is there really nothing that offers us bus and tram? Let's go into public transport, going into the tram component itself. This is tram, right? No, that's metro. This is tram. Now going into that, what is this? Center tram track. 2 drive lanes. Center tram track with a node. So these aren't bad. But yeah, we don't have any bus/tram options, do we? If we go bus, I just wanted to see, do we have bus and tram? That's maybe a joint one? Not at all. We could, of course, run... Yeah, no, so we don't have a joint bus-tram line, which would have been awesome if we did that. But anyway, that means that we will be moving from our existing boulevard, and we'll go into a tram-style boulevard. And I'm thinking that one. So if I do this, I think that is actually quite appropriate. So this one goes... It does, however, beg the question that why is that... That's not connecting to the right stuff, actually. Gives you... Oh, it's contraflow. It is contraflow. So it's contraflow that way and then contraflow this way. I'm not sure that's safe. Well, because it's on the... Well, if it's safe here, it's safe there, right? So, what was this nice 3-line boulevard, which will now run through this. Now, this is contraflow. I'm not sure I'm a big fan of that situation. We've got bus lanes running up to there. We don't have something that we can actually put a tram on here, but we can change it to something that allows... it'll just be slightly different in the sense that tram on the one side, bus on the other side. So we could potentially continue with one of these ones. So if we go and Please don't do that. Let's switch on anarchy. And I would like it the other way around, please. So we'll get the tram on the inside. Yes, that's the one. Tram on the inside. Oh, now it's on the right side. And we've managed to lose our pathways. So I'll have to... tram on the inside, please. Tram on the inside. Tram on the inside. So we'll have the tram running through there. Then, of course, what we'll need to do is... this one will then just have to be a, a dual track in and out. Without parking. So it'll have to be something like this. Yeah. Contraflow, though. Wow, that's a little awkward, isn't it? We'll have to see about doing... Is that still disconnected? Oh, crap. Well, we'll have to fix that. And then let's quickly get the rest of our tram setup done over here. So the tram ended up being a little bit more problematic than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be an easy, smooth transition into a tram facility. But anyway, now we've got tram all the way over here, and we can get tram stops on the other side, really. Now, what I want to do is just quickly put back those little pathways, which we've seemed to have lost along the way. Now, what are we using? I think we're using this one, trade school, or is it the other one? It's this one. The university path, I think is what it is. So let's make sure to run that straight through there. And I'm a little amazed by... Oh, there we go. I'll have to use Mover to sort that out. We'll get that tied in over here. That's... it's quite interesting. Okay, let's keep running through here. We'll kind of tie it in over there, and we'll see about using Mover to sort it out. Any of the issues that we've been having here. There we go. And we'll run this guy straight through there. I like it. Oh, it's got trees on it now, which it didn't have in the past. Okay, that's okay. What we'll also do is we'll just kind of tie that one in together over there. Now, I'm going to quickly move it and just fix this one section over here. It's going to be a little challenging to find. I wish I knew how to... Do I use... No, tab is a different thing. Tab is a different thing. And you guys noted that in the comments as well. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get rid of that one, and we'll just rebuild it. We'll grab this one over there, and we'll tie it in like so. There we go. So now that should be all tied in and working. So we're gonna get buses going out on this side, trams coming in and out over here. I like the idea of doing that. Now, what we'll also need, of course, as part of this arrangement is we'll need a tram depot. So let's do that. Get ourselves a bit of a tram depot somewhere. Now, the question is, tram depots over here in the industrial complex feels about appropriate to me. So what I'm actually also wondering is, do we run ourselves a tram connection through this section? Or do we cut across this area and get the tram on that side? I'm almost tempted to do that. If we run a separate connection through here for the tram, but it will be pretty close. Okay, let's do that. Let's run a tram road through here. The tram only. Well, we'll have to see how that works. Not like so. I'm interested in running it. Well, to be honest, that's probably about the right call. And we'll run it straight through that way. That's good. And we'll need to figure out where we're going to tie that on together. But what we'll do at the moment is we'll also kind of sort out this little section through here. The tram can, in fact, join the line. I like that. We've lost a few things. Look at all these cars parked over here. It's already getting pretty busy. Now, what I'll do is we'll continue to maybe run this guy straight up to, say, there. And then what I'm interested in doing is actually tying it in at a very kind of acute angle over here. So it's tied in without actually doing anything. Is that appropriate? Well, let's get the tram depot going. And then we'll see it from there. So we've got vehicles on here, which I'm not a fan of. Okay, we don't have any zoning on it. So zoning is over here. So we'll need zoning on that side. So let's get out of here. We'll get our zoning sorted. So something like that gives us the ability to zone our tram facility on here. And I'd like to make it, yeah, that's the spot. Now, from here, what I'll do is I'll go back to a normal road so that there's a little bit of normal road access over here. Actually, not normal road. We'll get the industrial style road. Come on. How does that want to work? Now, we'll just update this to have that access point over there. That is awesome. I like that a lot. I'm going to block other vehicles from using that little section. It's going to be tram only little section. Through there. So we've got a lot of stuff that's we've lost over here. But let's quickly get that all sorted out. So going into Traffic Manager President, we would like to put some vehicle restrictions on here. So no cars, no taxis. We can do buses through there, no trucks, probably all of those. Okay, so let's ban all vehicles. None of this. Okay, so there we go. Now, if I do this one, what do we do to apply to the entire? Okay, let's just ban these guys and those guys and the trucks, and then we to the entire road up to there. Yeah, there we go. That is awesome. So now we've got our bans in place over here. So now it'll be trams only. Now, this side can have everything, and that's okay. And we've lost a fair bit of zoning in here, have we? Oh, I've lost the zoning. Hang on. I'll put the zoning back because I think that area is going to be awesome with regards to zoning. That's why we've lost it, actually. Probably not in there, but in there. Yeah. Oh, and we've lost zoning all the way around here. No, we definitely need zoning in there. What I'm going to do is, do I close that out and put the zoning on that side? Yeah, let's do that. Let's get out some zoning up there. That's okay. Is this going? Yeah, let's get some zoning on there. Okay, we'll sort out the zoning on the rest of that. But there we go. That's effectively a little zoned area. So let's make sure to allow for a little bit of things to be developed in here. Similarly, I would like a little bit of this commercial style stuff over here and over there. And we'll have a little bit of a mix and match in this general area. So let's, because these are slightly awkward blocks, let's make them stand out a little bit. So that should help us out a little bit over here. Now, let's get our tram going. I think that is what we're actually all about over here. And then we'll put a little bit of extra parking around and do a little bit more in terms of zoning. So, tram line. Now, the bus is now all of a sudden running up through there. And I'm not opposed to that because it means that it's not too problematic. So, first stop for the tram. And we'll need to bear in mind that the contraflow is this way. Yeah. We'll do a stop over there and actually, let's start it that way. Now, contraflow, it's going to run. So let's get our first stop. We probably need a little bit more parking all through here. Over there. Probably over there. Probably up here next to this facility. We'll just do a random allocation of stops over here where they're not going to be used. Definitely would like a stop over here. Then at the park entry over there, we'll definitely do a stop over that way. And probably one more in this location. And then the next one is, you know what though? We can't actually do that stop. So let's bring that. Let's do this one and we'll do that one over there. But what I'm keen on doing is removing that stop. Now, because I've started it over here, it's a bit of a crappy situation because we can't actually. We'll just move it. Okay. So, and we'll do, actually, let's move this one a little bit. Okay, we'll do that. There we go. That's our tram line 1. City tram. City tram A. Let's do that. City tram A. And I don't mind that purple coloring. So let's just see what type of vehicles. Select our vehicles. We'll do the rides, right? I think the ride is the one that we're after. So we'll always do the rides. Vehicles on this line. So let's just remove all vehicles from the line. We're going to go with this one. This is a 7-car, maybe too long for the city. The 5-car one is a bit more appropriate. That max speed is extreme. The Alstom, all these max speeds are really extreme. So let's do that. We'll remove all vehicles and we'll just add the vehicles we want. So let's get about 4 of them to let's make it 6. Let's make 6 of them to kind of do its thing, and it's going to unbunch and all these kind of things. Let's get out of here so I can actually see these trams. So these we'll have to see. So we'll have to see what actually happens with these guys. Okay, so that's our tram connections over there. So let's close this one off and we'll continue our expansion over here. So what I'm keen on doing is making sure that we'll do a nice little commercial. Well, to be honest, let's run the commercial strip up here. Actually, let's trim that back, get commercial in there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a lower density commercial in the center. So we'll see what actually happens with this. I'm not too opposed to that, and we'll do a higher density commercial strip on the other side. There we go. So hopefully that will now start building itself out a little bit. Now, the other thing that I'm kind of interested in doing is putting a bit of a parking lot in here. So let's see what we have in terms of larger parking lots. So I've got these, what is this? University City Parking Garage. Any others? Homewood Suites, which is, it's like a hotel. A parking garage, a modern parking garage. Ooh, you know what I'm going to do because we should be able to zone it on this side. So let's get our zoning all sorted. And how do I think Alt is the key that I'm after. There we go. There we go. That's the zoning that I'm after over here. So now that means we should be able to sort out our parking lot. So let's grab a parking lot from our parks menu over here. And I think, that is exactly the access point that I'm after. So now the question is, I can't remember if I needed to connect. I think I actually needed to connect this parking lot internally. I can't remember. We'll have to see if that is a thing. I think this will get parking. It'll get, there we go. It'll get power in just a minute. So there we go. Got it. Gets parking. These things are filling in a little bit. Let's speed it up a little bit and see what's going to happen with our zoning infill over here. Our traffic is not too bad. All of this is kind of working. If we can have a little look through here, that's all kind of working fairly nicely. No real big parking traffic jams in here. This section and this section is about the busiest that it's going to get. So all in all, looking pretty good, pretty flash. And now we've got our contraflow tram network running in here. And ideally, we would also then, of course, run a little line. And probably 4 running here with an extra 4 running there is the right thing to do. So let's finalize that by getting our tram to actually run on the other one also. So it's coming in here. It's going to need to run, that way. I think that's going to be fine. And let's go this way. Yeah, that's fine. That's the appropriate direction of travel, actually. Excellent. So let's quickly finalize that with some more tram stuffies. These are a little too close together, aren't they? Oh, I wanted to just move it around the corner. This is the plan. Move it around the corner over there. That's awesome. Now, I'll start it on this side, okay? And where are we gonna? It'll be in here. Oh, I needed to get some more connections in there. But anyway, what we'll do is we'll start it over there, and then we'll run it down here. And what I'll do is where we've got a little bit of an access point, so something like that, we'll do this. But what we'll basically run them a little further and only kind of intersect at the intersections at this point in time. And then what we'll do is we'll turn it in here and it'll go all of these stops. There, over here, over there, over there, and that one, over there, and then it'll run up here, where it'll be on the other side of the intersection, I'm not sure it needs to be here, though. And then what we'll do is we'll tie it in over there. Now, we'll pause the game and we'll call this University Tram. Hey? We'll give it a completely different color so that we can easily distinguish it. We'll select the vehicle type. So we're going to select, again, this slightly shorter one. It could be the longer one. Maybe if we make it the longer one, it will, and then we'll remove all the vehicles and we'll add 1, 2, 3, 4 vehicles to that line. That's going to be awesome. And then we should have people getting in over here. What I wanted to do is I just wanted to remove that stop. There we go. That is a more appropriate one because that stops the one that we're going to be using. And I do like that. That's making good use of it. And I'll go to the other tram line. Let's get to the other tram line. I just want to go, ooh, look at that model. I love it. So we'll go to City Tram. And I'm going to remove the vehicles off of City Tram. I just want to remove some of them. So remove vehicle. Till we get to 4. That's the number. So we'll have 4 on the one, 4 on the other one. So in the city loop, it's going to be really busy. And over there, we'll then have every second tram basically running up there, theoretically. Okay, so let's get out of this view. What am I? Can I? What do I have? I candy switched on. Let's get out of there. Let's close off this, and we'll come on out of here, and we'll have a quick look. There we go. So now we're slowly starting to increase things, and we can now also make sure that we continue to add some residential components. We also need, look at this. I am loving the fact that we are getting a fair bit more traffic. Something for us to solve in the not too distant future. I'm loving it. This is really good. That parking is full. Is this parking being used at all at this point? Can we see any vehicles in here? Or would we need to run? I'll have to double check how this works, and we'll probably fix it in the next episode. But yeah, we need more places for people to look at all of these trams. There's just like tons of trams running on these lines here. But we'll definitely need to expand our residential components aggressively. And I think this block here can be one fairly substantial residential block. I hope these guys will get spaced out a little bit better in the not too distant future so that things work a little better over here. Look at that. Guys, I'm enjoying it. This little corridor over here leading to the university is going to be pretty awesome. I'm liking that quite a lot. And we already have how many people hanging out over here? Why do we have cars? Oh, I didn't ban cars through here, which is quite an interesting one. So I'll ban cars through there at some point also. Guys, if you've enjoyed it, please hit that like button. So the parking snapping tool is a pretty cool piece of action. And we're going to use tons more of that as we fill out the rest of our build over here. This little walkway over here, I do like that. That's awesome. Little ice cream shops and a little inner city commercial district over here. Okay, see you next time. Bye-bye.